If you're a contractor who's made a decision it's time to hire a salesperson, you just don't know where to start, I'm gonna give you some tips in this video to help you overcome that fear and get the right person for your business. Hey everybody, I'm Mike Claudio, owner of WinRate Consulting and host of the Big Stud Sales Podcast. So hiring a salesperson can be intimidating because you don't know what you don't know. The first thing you do is figure out your job post. What is the actual job description? What is the mission of the job? And one of the things that I like to use as a best practice in that job posting, kind of in whatever platform I'm putting in, I prefer Indeed. I've had success with Indeed. There's many out there. You gotta decide what works best for you. But putting a part at the top of that job description in what are the attributes, skill sets, and personality types of the person that you're looking for. Something along the lines of, I'm looking for somebody who is, or who has, or who whatever you're looking for in that person, that skill set, that mindset, background, personality type, whatever, because you want the right person to be able to say, oh, that sounds like me, and you want the wrong person to be like, that's not something that I'm really built for. When you go over the job requirements and expectations, you want to put it in enough detail that you almost try and sell the person out of the job. You don't just want to post all the great things about it. You want to post some of the, hey, some nights and weekends. Hey, you're gonna be dealing with clients. Hey, some cold calling, some prospecting, some networking. You wanna let them know some reasons why they may not want the job. And I do that because you don't want someone to take the job, or you hire somebody because of all the pros, and then they end up leaving because they really weren't aware of the downside, the cons of the job. So both in the interview process and in the job description, I try and make them feel like, hey, this is for me because I know those downsides and I'm not worried about it, because then that person can kind of sell you on why those risks are not really impactful to them. Secondly, I like putting some sort of an additional gate on my interview process. What I mean by that is I'll put at the top of the job description or somewhere near the top, to be considered for this role, please email your resume to. What I do that for is say like, hey, how well do they do at reading the whole thing? How good are they at following directions? Overall, that one step will save you a ton of time in interviewing and diagnosing and looking over a lot of the wrong candidates. I'll give you an example. I just hired a salesperson within the last few months. I did that step. I had 87 applicants through Indeed. 3 of them actually sent the email. So that was 84 conversations I didn't have to have. Might I have missed a good person in there? Sure, but I found a person that fit my culture perfectly and I knew could follow directions and do the simple things right. That's really important for a salesperson because they're gonna be out on an island. They're gonna be not around you all the time. You're not gonna be looking over their shoulder like a production guy. So you wanna know that they're gonna do the right thing and they're gonna communicate proactively, because that's the biggest issue in our industry is salespeople and business owners not getting back to people. You don't wanna have that in your culture. So the second thing is what types of attributes are you looking for? I primarily look for athletes, preferably people who have played at the second level, college or beyond. They have a certain level of competitiveness that you can't teach any other way. They also know that you can't win the championship at the beginning of the season. And what I mean by that is you have to put in the work to get the results. You know, no matter what sport you played, if you played at the next level, even high school or college, you've gone through I need to work hard in the off season so I can have results in the season. Sales is not winning every day. Sales is following a process consistently that will lead to results. In my opinion, that's hard to teach people. People are not used in general to being let down. They're not used to being told no. A salesperson or an athlete, a competitor, has that. They understand that they can do everything right and still lose. It doesn't affect their mindset or their drive or their willpower in any way because they're used to it at that point. Lastly, you want to use more scenario-specific questions than tell me what you've done and the results you've had. I have found that some people have had great results, but don't understand how they got them. So when they get into a tough situation, they don't have the systems and processes in their head and the experience necessary to overcome it. Someone saying, well, I sold a bunch before. Find out how they did it. Find out why they did it that way. Find out what their process is. You can even give them hey, if I were to give you a lead, how would you nurture that to close? Hey, if someone ghosted you, how would you handle that? Hey, if you were to go to a networking event, what would you do? Some of those scenario type questions help you understand how well someone knows how to do the job you're hiring them for. But you gotta figure out what works best for you. Not every situation is the same and not every role and job description is identical in the sales side. So you have to figure out, is it an inside, is it an outside, is it a farmer, is it a hunter? You gotta figure out that role for you, but those are some great tips that I've used to make sure I get the right person for the job I need them to take over. Again, I'm Mike, host of Big Stud Sales Podcast and owner of WinRate Consulting. I'd love to engage with you. Check me out on Instagram at WinRate Consulting. Put a lot of content there. I engage with my followers very regularly. Shoot me a DM. Just say you found me on YouTube. I'd love to talk to you and kind of just see what's going on in your world. But you gotta remember, win fast and win often.